Hello guys, it's Zinc182 bringing you again domination on Modern Warfare 2 today, and I am playing on Salvage. I'm using the ACR Silenced and the Spas 12, which in my opinion are two of my favourite guns on this game. In particular, my favourite gun is the Scar H Silence. For some reason I do love the silencer attachment, which I did use in my last COD gameplay with the MP5 on COD 4. Even though it makes the gun harder to use from long range, I think it's quite effective at keeping away your enemy, and I might not display that in the quality in my games, but I find it one of the best attachments, definitely. Also, many people said the Spas is overpowered, which I agree with, but overall I'd say it's better than the AA-12 on the range of which can use it. I just prefer the Spas overall, really. The perks I'm using are Sleight of Hand, Stopping Power, and Ninja Pro. If they're probably when I just died before we saw that. But anyway, today I do want to talk about what's happening in the news at the moment, and obviously the main thing that's happening where I am is the London riots, even though it's a thing that's happening across the country. And at the moment there have been 1,051 people in connection with the violence, and 591 people have been charged with the violence so far. And it's happening all over, and it's not just London. And there's been 445 people arrested in West Midlands, where I live. Manchester has 176, and Cambridge has 5, and Gloucester has 3. I know it's not many, but anyway. And apparently on the main night, well, I think this is the main night, Monday night, there was 310 arrests in London alone, and the people charged in London overall at the moment is 371, I think. Well, that's when I had my data updated last time. But it's just so stupid at the moment. I mean, it's just kids about my age, 15, and even apparently a kid who was 10 was caught doing all this violence. It's just all this looting and rioting in shops, all over in all the shopping centres, and in particular from Birmingham, you know, the Bullring. That was where a lot of the looting happening, and it's just stupid. A lot of the politicians are saying, "Oh, it's because all these teenagers can't get jobs and all these young people can't get jobs because foreigners getting jobs." It's really not. It's just because they're not trying to get jobs, and it's just stupid. It's just up to bad parenting, really. And really, you wouldn't let a 10-year-old out at 11, 12 o'clock at night. It's just stupid, and the politicians shouldn't be blaming it on the job losses. It's bad parenting, and everyone's thinking that across the country. And overall, it makes young people overall look pretty bad. Those looting, and people just look at you differently. They just think they can't trust you anymore. It's stupid. It is affecting a lot of businesses and shops. You can tell shops such as Curry's. If you look at there's a YouTube video online with a journalist who was walking down the streets of London where he lived, and he saw a Curry's on the other side of the road where loads of people were looting, and he saw some people walking out with TVs and laptops and stuff, and he asked this girl why they were doing it, and they said oh, to get revenge back at the taxis and stuff. And I was like, you probably don't even have a job. It's just down to violence and taking advantage of a situation which half of them probably don't know about. They're just looting for the fun of it. It's apparently it's all based on this death of a man who was shot in London by a police officer. But it's spread across the country all the way up to Manchester and up to Liverpool, and it's just an excuse for looting, I think. It's just caused so much hassle in the news. I just find it pathetic, really. There's just pockets of young people in our country that are just sick and just scum. It's just awful, and all the violence has just caused like a lot of things to get cancelled. In particular, in football, there were 2 League Cup games that were cancelled. I think Crystal Palace was one. I can't remember the other one. And of course, the England match, the friendly against Holland, was cancelled as well because of the violence. And this is carried on, and it's carried on up to this Saturday where Tottenham was supposed to play Everton, but now that has been cancelled because all the main violence started in Tottenham and it's carried on, so they don't think it's going to be safe enough for that game to take place in the afternoon. And luckily all the 9 other games will be playing on. But in my opinion, the violence hasn't been that bad over the last 2 nights. It was mainly Saturday up to Tuesday, I'd say, was the worst of it, and the last 2 nights the police have done a pretty good job. And there's 16,000 officers in London who came in, so they've obviously done a better job of it. Like, because to be fair, you can't ask a lot of them. It was like they didn't really know that was going to happen, so you couldn't have expected them to stop it straight away. But they're not taking a strong enough approach, I felt, and hopefully they'll deal with it. And the rest of the world are now looking at it. If you're watching this from somewhere else, other countries are looking at us saying, if we can't handle this at the moment, how are we going to handle the riots if it comes up again in the Olympic Games, or if it carries on throughout other football matches and stuff? It happens in the evening all the time, because all these kids are just committing all these criminal offences and just taking advantage of the situation, and I just find it awful, man. Anyway, as I was saying, the Tottenham game has got called off, and the 9 other games are taking place still, because it is the start of the Premier League season this weekend. The Championship kicked off last week, and obviously the Premier League season starts the week after. And this week, in particular, there is West Brom versus Manchester United. I am a Manchester United fan, even though I'm from Birmingham, so I should be supporting West Brom, but I will be at the game supporting Man U with Slashfire. If you check out his channel, he's also in MFGGamerz, which I will quickly just say, just please check out their channel. I'm also a member on their channel, and they've got a few videos at the moment. I think the latest video was on by a new PS3 member, Knots99MUFC. I would say it's PSN name, but I cannot pronounce it at the moment. I don't know how to say it, but please check out his video. I think there's a good domination game on Black Ops with him and Slashfire, so please check that out. And if you want to look at my page, or Slashfire's page, or Knott's page, please look at that as well. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The Man U game, me and Sash are going to it, as because if you've seen my last video, you may have noticed someone who's featured in my Zombies match, Let's Play Dirty. He is a West Brom fan himself, and he has a season ticket with West Brom, but unfortunately he won't be there this weekend because he is away. So he is giving the tickets to me so I could take a friend, and I'm taking Slash and his dad. I'll just keep calling him Slash, I won't call him his real name. I don't know why. And we will be sitting in the West Brom end, and it's just going to be really awkward. I've done it before, because as I said, I've been to more West Brom games than Man U games, and it's kind of awkward when you're sitting there, because I think I've seen three or four West Brom versus Man U games at the Hawthorns, and you're just sitting there, and when Man U score, you just can't cheer, you just have to be disappointed with the West Brom fans, and when West Brom score, you're like, oh yeah, they scored. It's just really awkward. I've been to a Man U match versus West Brom at Old Trafford, but still I was in the West Brom end for that. So I've only ever been, I think I've been in the Man U stands once, and that was for a friendly game against Inter Milan a few years ago. But I hardly ever sit with the Man U fans, even though I'm a Man U fan. It sounds really, really bad at the moment. But yeah, we'll be going to that Sunday. Hopefully Man United will get off to a good start, and we will hopefully, I think we will get off to a good start. I think it'll be 2-0. I think it'll be a fair enough score. West Brom are looking better. They did look a lot better at the end of last season, especially with Odemwingie coming in, and now they got Shane Long from Reading as their record transfer, I think he is, so he should look good as well. As for the title race itself, it's mainly between Man U. I'd say City definitely have a good chance this year, Chelsea obviously, and I'd even say Liverpool, because Kenny Dalglish has done a great job there. But as for my opinion, I just don't think Arsenal have much of a chance anymore, because they're going to lose Fabregas, it looks like on the news, and Nasri is on the verge of going to Man City. Arsene Wenger has came back. He said he didn't expect either of them to go, but when questions were asked him, he wasn't giving straight answers on their future. He said he wouldn't be surprised if Fabregas went to Barcelona, and Barcelona have said to a few journalists that he is on the verge of getting there. So I just don't think Arsenal have much of a chance. Anyway, I need to stop talking now because it's coming to the end of my video. Thank you for watching, and please check out my other videos on my page. Thank you, and goodbye.